Welcome to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, the channel that takes you into the heart of some of the wildest, most unbelievable animal stories from around the globe. Whether it's animals breaking loose, humans pushing the boundaries of the untamed, or nature reminding us who's really in charge, we've got it all right here. Today we're diving deep into the incredible, jaw-dropping story of Brittany Parker. She's a hard-working mum from a small town in Oklahoma who never thought she'd face anything more dangerous than the occasional raccoon. But when an exotic pet monkey named Jack escaped from its owner and landed on her porch, it became a nightmare she could never have imagined. This isn't just a story about a wild animal attack. It's about the consequences of owning exotic pets, the bravery of one woman and her family, and what happens when the line between wild and domestic is blurred. Trust me, this is one tale you'll be thinking about long after it's over. But before we jump into this wild ride, I need to ask for your help. If you love hearing incredible animal stories like this one, and let's face it, who doesn't? Then here's how you can support the channel and make sure we keep bringing you the best of the best. Smash that like button. Seriously, it takes just a second and helps us reach more people who are as fascinated by the wild world as you are. Share this video with your friends, family, or anyone who loves a good story. Trust me, this one will have them talking. Drop a comment down below. Have you ever had a close encounter with an animal? Maybe a daring rescue, an unforgettable moment, or even something funny? We'd love to hear your story. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button and join the Savage Tales family. We're building a community of animal lovers, thrill seekers and adventurers, and we'd love for you to be part of it. Oh, and don't forget to click the notification bell. That way, you'll be the first to know when our next jaw-dropping tale drops. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. We're here to entertain, educate, and give you the chills in the best possible way. So buckle up, settle in, and get ready to explore the untamed world of nature with us. And hey, if you're already part of our community, thank you. Your support means everything. All right, let's dive into Brittany's unforgettable encounter with a rogue monkey named Jack. What happened next will leave you speechless. This is Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, where the wild meets the unexpected. Let's get started. It was a quiet Sunday afternoon in Dixon, Oklahoma, a small, peaceful town where the unexpected rarely happens. Brittany Parker, a mother and resident of the area, was inside her home enjoying the serenity of the day. Her son played nearby, and everything seemed to be just another ordinary moment. That was until Brittany glanced out her window and saw something that made her do a double-take. Standing on her front porch was a monkey. Not a squirrel or a raccoon, as one might expect in the Oklahoma countryside, but a beige primate, pacing back and forth across her porch railing. It was a surreal and almost comical sight at first. Brittany, confused and slightly amused, decided to share the moment with her family. She pulled out her phone and started a FaceTime call, showing the strange visitor to her loved ones on the other end of the line. "Look, there's a monkey!" she exclaimed, half laughing, half bewildered. However, what started as a peculiar encounter quickly shifted into something more unnerving. The monkey's behavior grew increasingly erratic. It began jumping off the porch railing, slamming into the screen door with alarming force. The creature, which Brittany later learned was named Jack, seemed agitated, almost frantic. Its small hands gripped the door handle, yanking and tugging as if determined to gain entry. With a loud crack, the monkey managed to break part of the door handle off entirely, sending Brittany's heart racing. Realizing this was no harmless spectacle, Brittany's instincts kicked in. She immediately dialed 911, alerting the police to the bizarre intruder attempting to breach her home. Within minutes, officers from the Dixon Police Department and a wildlife officer from the Oklahoma Wildlife Department arrived on the scene. From the safety of her home, Brittany watched as the monkey interacted with the officers. At first, the primate seemed almost playful, jumping onto the police vehicle and perching on its rear as if it were surveying its domain. Brittany, still cautious but somewhat reassured by the officer's presence, decided to step outside. She thought the worst was over and wanted to observe the situation more closely. Her young son accompanied her, both of them standing on the porch, watching as the monkey darted back and forth. But Jack's calm demeanor didn't last. His behavior turned erratic once more, his pacing becoming more frantic, his movements more aggressive. Brittany's grip on her son's hand tightened. The tension in the air was palpable, and then in an instant the monkey's playful act vanished, replaced by a wild and terrifying instinct. What happened next would leave Brittany, her family, and the officers stunned, and her life forever changed. In a flash, the monkey's demeanor shifted from erratic curiosity to explosive aggression. Without warning, Jack darted across the porch toward Brittany. Before she could react, the primate leaped onto her back with terrifying speed and force. The impact knocked Brittany forward, and she instinctively reached out to shield her son, who screamed in fear and scrambled backward toward the house. Jack, now clinging to Brittany's shoulders, began yanking at her hair with shocking strength. Handfuls of hair were ripped from her scalp as she tried to shake him off, her screams of pain and panic echoing through the quiet Oklahoma afternoon. The officers, just feet away, froze for a split second before rushing to intervene, shouting commands to try to scare the animal off. But Jack was relentless. He climbed higher onto Brittany's head, gripping her hair tightly. Then, in a horrifying moment, the monkey lunged for her ear, sinking its teeth in with feral precision. The pain was instantaneous and excruciating. Brittany felt the hot sting of the attack as Jack tore through the delicate cartilage, leaving her ear dangling by a thread. Blood poured down her face and neck, staining her clothes as she staggered and tried desperately to fend him off. At that moment, adrenaline and survival instincts took over. Brittany flailed her arms, trying to dislodge the animal, and the officers rushed forward. The commotion and their loud shouts seemed to momentarily startle Jack, who finally released his grip and bolted into the nearby woods, disappearing among the trees. As the chaos subsided, Brittany collapsed onto the porch, trembling and clutching her head. Her hands were covered in blood and her breathing was ragged as she tried to comprehend what had just happened. Her son, now sobbing, clung to her side, unhurt but clearly traumatized. The police officers quickly called for an ambulance, and one of them offered a jacket to help stem the bleeding. Brittany was visibly in shock, her face pale as she clutched the tattered remnants of her ear. The officers began to search the woods for Jack, but the monkey had vanished into the dense brush. Paramedics arrived within minutes and transported Brittany to a local hospital, where doctors worked urgently to clean and stabilize her injuries. They determined that she would require extensive plastic surgery to repair her ear, though it was unclear if her hearing would ever fully return. Meanwhile, the police continued their search for Jack. Hours later, a member of Brittany's family spotted the monkey near their home. Fearing for the safety of others, especially the children in the area, the family member shot and killed Jack. The primate's body was later sent to a lab for disease testing. Back at home, Brittany's ordeal was far from over. The physical injuries were only part of the trauma. Every time she closed her eyes, she relived the attack. The sound of Jack's screeches, the sharp, searing pain, and the sight of blood soaking her clothes. She struggled with a growing sense of fear and helplessness. Questions plagued her mind. How had this happened? Why was a dangerous animal like this allowed in her community? Could it happen again? For Brittany, life would never be the same. The scars on her ear and scalp served as a constant reminder of the harrowing encounter. Even more troubling, she hesitated to let her son play outside, haunted by the thought of what could have happened if the monkey had targeted him instead. As news of the attack spread, Brittany began to speak out about the dangers of owning exotic animals without proper training or regulation. She called for stricter laws to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future, advocating for mandatory permits, training, and safeguards for those who wish to keep non-native species as pets. While her recovery was slow and painful, Brittany hoped that sharing her story could spark a broader conversation about the risks of exotic animal ownership and protect others from enduring the same trauma she and her family had experienced. Wow, what an intense and eye-opening story. Brittany's experience is a powerful reminder of how unpredictable and dangerous encounters with exotic animals can be. Stories like this make us reflect on the importance of safety, awareness, and responsible ownership when it comes to wildlife and exotic pets. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Savage Tales Animal Encounters. If you were as captivated as we were by today's story, don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about exotic animals as pets? Should there be stricter laws, or is it just about responsible ownership? We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps us out. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more incredible animal stories like this one. We post regularly, bringing you thrilling, thought-provoking tales of animal encounters from all over the world. From the wildest stories of survival to heart-pounding moments of danger, this is your go-to channel for all things animal encounters. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, especially anyone who might need a reminder about the risks of exotic animal ownership. And if you're looking for even more amazing content, check out the playlist right here, points to the corner of the screen, or one of these recommended videos. Thank you again for joining us today. Your support means everything to us. It's what keeps this channel growing and allows us to share these incredible stories with the world. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, every encounter tells a savage tale.